And here we go. Livy, Book 1.16, chapter. Here's immortalibus editus operibus. These are ablative absolute, these first four. Editus means having been produced or done. So his means these are the pronoun. So these immortal works, immortalis operibus, having been done. Cum ad exercitum recescendum contione in campo. Okay, let's go there. So when cum, he had a contione, an assembly, recescendum ad exercitum, to review the army. That was its purpose, to review the army in campo, in the plain. Ad capre paludum haberit. So he was having it. So cum contionem ad haberit, when he was having this assembly in the plain. The paludum capre, normally this is a word for a marsh. It's just the lake of Capra, you might want to say. Subito coortu, having suddenly arose, a tempestus. Tempest is a storm. Cum magno fragor. So subito corto, we're looking at lots of ablatives here. Magno frangore, there's the include qui, tonatribus, tem, denso, regem, opuerit, nimbo. So we're looking more of these ablatives. So with a great frangor, this is a great crashing, so it's great thundering, and tonatribus is also the word, so we've got thunder and lightnings going on. So dense a nimbo, tem denso nimbo. With such a dense nimbo as a cloud, it opwerded, it covered up regem, the king, ut, so that conspectum is, his conspectum, the side of him, was abstulated. So this would be the cloud which has covered him, has abstulated, taken him away from the site, conspecium, from the contion, which we saw up here was the assembly. Nec dein terras Romulus fuit. Romulus is a nominative. So nec means not or neither, dein means then or thereupon, or next was Romulus on the earth. So he wasn't seen after this. Contione is a shortening of conventus or something, conventio or something. That's the dative form of it. Romana pubes. This is actually a singular word for the adult population. Sedato tandem pavor. We've got the ablative use of sedato pavor, with their fear sedated or calmed down, tandem at last. Postquem after, ex turbid after such a confusion or storm, turbo's word for confusion. Da, this is a fifth declension in the ablative. So with a serene day and tranquilla, we see adjectives going with the same noun usually have et there, so that's what their grammar does. Though in English we just put a comma. So with a serene day and tranquillo, lux reddit, light returned. Ubi, when vacuum sedem regiem vidit. Okay, this is a singular vidit going with pubes, which is singular for a multitude. So when they saw the vacant sedem regia, the vacant royal seat, etsi, though satis credibat, though they believed it satisfactorily, patribus, from the senators, remember the fathers, the patribuses, the senators, qui who proximi steterent, again we see the NT going with patribus, though they believe those senators who had been standing proximi next to him, sublimum, this is the accusative for being raised up, raptum procella. Okay, so the procella is the storm. He was grasped by the storm, raptum, up sublimum, up high. Tamen, nevertheless, velut, just as if, orbitatis, as if they were bereft. This is a very flexible word. It can mean children who are left without parents, etc. Metu icta, struck by fear of being orphaned, maybe. Maestum aliquamdo. Aliquamdo means for some time. DUI means for some time. And aliquam just goes in front of it. Obtinuit. They held a maestum and a silentium. So the gloom was their maestum, and they held quiet aliquamity for some time in silence. And we'll have a daily dictionary of obtinere. This is from Rawshawn's, what's it called, a dictionary of Latin synonyms. He has something like 1,044 words. Asequi, consequi, adipisci, impetrare, obtinere, and asequi. So, obtinere means to insist on the possession of a disputed thing against danger of losing it. This is one of the terms. And here's a general dictionary word. I have possessed, preserve, keep, maintain, assert, show, prove, demonstrate, achieve, win, etc. Anyway, where were we? Deinde, then, a porcus from a few, initio facto, something began, there was a beginning of something. Deum, a god, deo natum, born from a god, so there was a god born from a god. Regem parentem qui, king and parent, Urbis Romana, of the Roman city, this would be Rome. Salvere universale Romulum ubit, so they ordered their greetings, salvere, universally, who's universi, so this is what they decided to call Romulus. He was a deum, a god, born from a god, the parent and king of the Roman city. Pacem precibus ex poscunt. So exposcunt means that they just has ex in front of posco, which means to demand or ask. Pacem is peace from pax. Precibus, with prayers. So they demanded a peace with prayers. Utai, so that. Volans, so that he would want. This is the present participle of it. Propitius suum semper sospitet progeny. So semper means always. Sospitet means he would protect or defend. So that he would want to be propitious or favourable towards. Semper always, and he would defend his progeny. That's the offspring, or the offspring of the city. Fuisi credo. Credo is a head verb. Goes on in your head. So I believe, for we see with the writer oblique, there had been tum then, quoque also, alikos, other people. So I believe that there had been other people also there, qui who, discerptum regem, discerptum means the king was torn apart, discertum, patrum manibus, by the hands of the senators' fathers, arguent taciti. So they would argue this silently, or they would think this in their own heads. This is what Livy's believing. Credo would be Livy himself. Think that other people think that the king was ripped apart by the hands of the fathers. Men of it. It spread out. It emanated from, or went through. And this is the way you describe things. So for it was permeated everywhere. Hake these things. Quoque also. Said per obscura fama, but these are obscure. Per means thoroughly or very obscure fama reports or rumours. Okay, so Livy was believing that the king could have been torn apart. For this story, quoque also went out very obscurely. Iliam alterum, but that other one, admiratio vira, in admiration viri of the man, et and pavor presens, and the present fear, noble of it. This ennobled or made this one the stronger. This Iliam altum, this other one, was the more stronger one, because such they had admiration for him, and there was a fear after he'd been torn up or vanished in the cloud. Et concilio etiam unus hominis, and so this concilium, this plan or decision or viewpoint, etiam even, unius hominis, of one man. Unius is one of these naughty 9 pronominals or whatever called. Addita res, added, you might say added to this matter or circumstances. Dicator feeds. Feeds is the believability, sometimes it means protection. But it's said that this is a maybe something trustworthy. Namqui 4, Proculus Julius, this is some person. Solicitor civitate, we now have ablative absolute. With the citizenships, with the civilians, with the populace are solicited, which means anxious. Desiderio, this is a longing for regus of the king. So the state was very anxious, having this loss or longing for their king. And infensa, patribus, this means being hostile to the fathers. Infensa is a female thing, which might go with the res in the adita, which was going on there. Anyway, he's gravis, which means he was serious. Ut traditor, as people said, as it's handed into history. Quam vis, although magna re auctor in contionem prodid. So he produced something, he came forth in this assembly, in the contionem, with some great serious weight, we might want to say, as he was the author of something which he's going to say, and magne means great. So I might just read this bit and then put it all together. Romulus inquit, he said, Quirites. So Quirites are the people, these are Roman citizens. So he's addressing them there. Romulus, parent Urbis huis, the parent of this city, the father of the city. Prima Herdione Luce Calio, repente dilapsus se, mihi obvium dedit. Okay, so Roman citizens, Romulus, parent of this city. Prima Lucate, first light, Herdione was yesterday. Repente, suddenly, dilapsus se, took himself fell down. Calio's ablative, so it's from heaven. And he obvium to me, and he met me. Dedit. And he said something or gave something to him. Well, this happened. Cum perfusius horror. So with a perfusius horror, with a flowing horror, and venerabundus qui. So the qui he means and. Venerabundable means he's giving him some sort of honor. He's fearing him, but he's respecting him. Adstitessem petens. So seeking from him who was adstitessem, which is the present participle, him who was standing ad, which means close. Precabus ut contra intuifas esse. So with his prayers or entreaties, that contra means facing him usually, intuere means to gaze over him, sometimes it means protection, but and fas means that this is legal or something the gods would approve of. Abi nuntia, go, Abi. Nuntia, announce, inquit, he said, to the Romans, Romanus, the Calestes, the heavenly bodies, ita, thus, vel ut mea Rome, that my Rome, caput orbis terrarum sit. That should be the capit's the head, the capital of terrarum orbis, of the world. So, we all go back to here. Proculus Julius, when the city was anxious, they had this longing for the king, and they were missing him. He was hostile to the fathers, even though that's an A there in the female. He was gravis, had gravitas. So he produced this speech in the assembly. He said, Romulus, parent of this city, yesterday at first light, suddenly he come down from heaven and met me. There was a profuse horror and fear in seeking him with prayers. He was standing next to me. And then so it was fast. It was lawful that he should speak to him, or he had the right to speak to him. Go announce to the Romans that the heavenly dwellers want my Rome to be the capital of the world. Proinde rem militarem colem scient qui et ita posteris tradunt nullus opus humanus armis Romanis resistere posse. That's end of the quote. Okay. Proinde, so then, colent, let them praise rem militarum, military matters, scient, and that they should know, and ita, and thus, tradunt henit posteris, to posterity, nullus opes humanus, that no human resources, posse are able, resistere, taking the infinitive, Roman arms, are able to give resistance to Roman arms. Haec, these things, inquit, he said, locutus, having spoke this, so this inquit would be Proculus Julius, I'm guessing, and locutus here would be Romulus himself. So Romulus had said these things, and Abbot, he went away, sublimis, up high. We're just about done. Mirum quantum illi viro, nuntianti haec fides furit, quam qui desiderium Romuli apud plebem exercertum qui facta fide immortalitatus lenatum sit. Mirum just means it was amazing. Quantum, how much? Fides is belief or protection. So belief, illi vera, to this man, nuntianti, who's present participle. So illo viro and nuntianti are all apposition. So how much fides was fuerit there was for this man announcing these things, quam, and looks like, and how much desiderium, how much longing there was of Romulus amongst the plebs, exercitumque, and the army. Facta fide, and we saw lenitum sit. So lenitum means it's soothed or softened. So this factor, this alleviated some of their misery, basically, knowing that there was fide, that there was some truth or belief in his immortalitas. So all these Romans, they had desiderium. They were longing amongst the plebs in the army, and knowing the fact that he had become immortal was very pleasant for them.